Hey, so this is a coaching video I'm making for Snook. Watched a bunch of the games that you played, and your average unit space at 14 minutes was 90, and the average unit space of your opponents at 14 minutes was 90. And I just wanted to show you that it's possible, and it's even really easy to get to 200 unit space at 14 minutes on two bases while being, a relatively safe. I mean, this is a super fast expansion. It's kind of greedy. But compared to the army sizes that you're seeing from your opponents, I didn't see a single game where anyone would have killed you with what they brought. I'm not trying to show you a build. I just made random shit at random times. No matter what units you make, as long as you pick like 2 or 3 kinds of units and just make them, you'll get to 200 unit space. I made actually Thors and tanks, which are quite expensive. Marines would have been way cheaper per unit space and would have hit 200 unit space a lot earlier. The goal here is to say, look at my APM, okay? You're a very slow player, and I've been told that I'm rude often because I tell people things that are true and that, might be considered rude. I'm sorry if it sounds rude, but your average APM in all those games was 36. I'm a very slow player too. And when you're a slow player, the most important thing becomes priorities. I don't have enough APM to do everything. What do I want to do with the APM that I have? So the question is, well, is it even possible for me to macro well enough to hit 200 unit space at 14 minutes? And across this whole game, my average APM was 24. And I didn't... The key is not to try to do anything else. Just make your units and keep up on supply depots and keep up on SCVs, and don't do anything else. Just because in all of the games I watched of yours, where you had these intense battles with lots of ravens and banshees and harass and drops and blah 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 blah, all this stuff, nobody ever had more than 100 unit space at 14 minutes. So like, why are you bothering with complicated drops and Hellion harass and which upgrades should I get and blah 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 blah? If you're gonna have double his unit space, you can beat him with Mass Viking, you can beat him with Mass Reaper, you can beat him with anything you want. If you have double someone's unit space, you win. So don't worry about what to make, when to make it, where to put it, how to use it, until you can get a really big army really quickly. And then like, once you have this foundation to build off of, like I showed it with the mineral drill using only Marines, just to say, hey, look, even with Marines, the worst unit, unupgraded Marines are quite terrible. Obviously, upgraded Marines are crazy good, but naked, 0/0, no stim, no combat shields, no medevacs, just stupid Marines that can easily be killed by banelings or infestors or tanks or whatever, they're not very good. But if you have 200 unit space of them when someone else has 90 unit space of pure infestor, right? You still win. So the point of that was, like, if you get a big army quickly, no matter what you make that army of, you'll win. And the point of this is to say, look, everybody knows, don't make pure Marines. Sure, make mech, make tank, Hellion, Thor, fine. Make a good army. That's even better than making a bad army, right? Like, sure, you can win with a bad army, but you can win a heck of a lot more games with a good army. The point isn't what you make. You can pick any composition you want. The point is that you should be able to hit 200 unit space making it at about 14 minutes. And anytime you watch your own games and you look at your army size and it's not 7,500 to 9,000. I believe right now my army size is 9,250. If you don't have a $9,000 army at 14 minutes, that's the problem, okay? So I watched a lot of your games where you had a $5,000 army and it was a decent composition and you used it really well and you moved it to the right places and you sieged up and you did drops and you did Banshee Harass. But a $5,000 army will lose to a $9,000 army every time. So I want you to try this. The most fun way to try this is to find another player and both of you play against each other in a 1v1 custom. You're not allowed to attack. You have to have a bunker and a certain number of Marines by a certain time. You're not allowed to take a third. And you have to, like, you can even say you have to have 3 turrets to prevent drops, or you have to keep a Thor in each base during your build, or whatever. Make rules so that it's a realistic thing. And then just race. Whoever gets to 200 first wins, and then end the game, watch the replay, see what it looked like. So I really want you to try this, and I will try it with you if you find me online, because I love doing this, man. I do this all the time. Learn to hit 200 unit space super quick, and you will never lose a game in the Silver League. Like, you should basically be able to get to platinum with any composition that's even remotely reasonable, as long as you get your macro right. It's all about your macro. Nothing else matters at all in the lower leagues. So good luck, dude.